First off, this is Build It with Chris. Welcome. This is a very informal call. It is designed to be that way because we're actually going to build stuff inside the CRM. So this call is meant to see the nitty gritty behind the scenes of what it takes to actually get technology implemented in our business. Everybody online always makes it look easy. They always, oh, like just click here, and all of a sudden it works. And Build It with Chris is about actually building it and you seeing that there is mistakes that get made. There's things that break, and watching me go through the process of actually launching and building campaigns is here to make it so that you understand, hey, this can be complicated sometimes, but I can get through it and I can get this stuff launched, because once it's built and it's launched, that's when it's working and that's when you're actually going to get you the results. So it's about getting you past the finish line. And then we do like to work on member accounts. So if you are actively working on a campaign or a workflow, or you have an idea for a campaign or a workflow, the database activator, any of those, I'd like comments. We're looking for somebody to feature as our special guest next week. And we want to build live campaigns for clients on this actual call. So if you are currently a member of the Loan Officer CRM, just type in the chat what type of campaign you're looking to build. And our team, we get together. This is part of one of our team building exercises. We pick one of the members and a campaign to build. And then we will show up and actually build that campaign for you here on Build It with Chris. So with that, let's get to it. Oh, one other thing. For those of you that are here from either Breakfast Club or wherever it's come from, we did decide to open this call up. The technology that we're using and what we're building in is the Loan Officer AI CRM. It's $297 a month. You can try it out for 30 days risk-free because we've got a 100% money-back guarantee. And obviously, if you have any questions about it, you can type in the chat, because the majority of people here are members. They have the CRM, so you can get direct feedback on the support, how the software works, all that good stuff in the chat. But right now it's $297. We're including the Redder access, which is what we're going to be working with today. And it's just $297. So you can go to loanofficercrm.ai to get started today. That's loanofficercrm.ai. Okay, cool. First question, we'll start with Golf. Golf, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Hey, thank you. So I just wanted to know, since I recently signed up for the CRM, again, just a reminder that I am moving another agency into yours, right? And I wanted to know whether, obviously, I can export my 2000 plus data into it, but does it transfer like conversations or text that I have from that agency into this one?
So no, it will not. Now the campaign can help you with the transition. Some of the form fields will be able to pull over, but normally the conversations themselves we can't. If you've got notes and different things attached to the contacts, we can import those, but we can't do conversation histories, I don't believe. But we will get a team member that reaches out to you to help get as much data as possible as we can on that transition.
Okay.
Awesome. Right on. And it's great to have you, Golf, and welcome. Chris, next up. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Very good, very good.
So my question is regarding the voicemail and the Thor's hammer tree. So my question is, so if I make a call and I disposition the call as a voicemail, I've got the tag in there that's moving the voicemails through week by week. So are they getting a missed call and then another missed call from a voicemail, or how does that actually work from a mechanical standpoint as far as that voicemail drop?
Phenomenal question. I knew you were going to come with a good one. That's fantastic. Okay. So what Chris is talking about is he's following the daily success plan here at Mortgage Marketing Animals, and he's making his Thor's hammer calls, which is you get a list of qualified agents, which I'm going to show you how to do. You get 300 qualified agents a month. You load them into a power dial campaign, you call them, right? If they don't pick up, you press the button that says they didn't pick up, and it moves them to the next week so that you can call them the next week as part of the process. But what Chris has done is he's added a ringless voicemail that gets dropped into their voicemail box if they don't pick up the phone. So he's using the power dialer, clicks the button they didn't pick up, and it sends the voicemail into their voicemail box. So Chris, to answer your question, now that everybody understands what we're doing, we're making a call they didn't pick up, it inserts the ringless voicemail. They see the phone call from you come in. They don't answer. Then that finishes that first workflow. Then there's a second workflow that goes out where they will see the same phone number buzz again on their phone, but then it automatically disconnects. So there's no actual call itself that they can answer. It just basically pops the phone number up on the screen, and then the voicemail shows up in the ringless voicemail. So it looks like two phone calls. One is the original call that was the power dialer, and the second one is the ringless voicemail, but basically they can't pick up the second one because all it's designed to do is to drop that voicemail in their voicemail box.
Is it possible to encapsulate them in the same call?
Not
So
unless
so I can
leave
phone,
it manually.
let's do like a phone burner scenario. So in phone burner, when you call and you have your voicemail set up, just like from the DSP, you can drop it and it's encapsulated in that one call instance, correct?
That's right. So
I'm just asking, is it possible to do that? It might not be, but it's just from a
Chris, this is Brad. When I use the voice, phone dialer, and I'm doing my Thor's hammer calls, if they answer with a voicemail, if they have a voicemail, I click on the button that says voicemail,
No, I
and it leaves
understand that.
my voicemail there.
No, but what I'm saying is the way it works right now, Brad, and it's just a question. So it leaves it. So if you make a phone call, it makes the call, you hit the voicemail button, it disconnects that call, and they've gotten one instance from you from a phone call, correct?
Yes.
When you hit the voicemail button, it's a second, there actually is a second instance of a call that goes directly to voicemail that they would see as potentially a missed call on their phone.
Yep.
So that's what I'm asking, is if there's a way to encapsulate both of those instances into one call itself. And if it's not, that's fine. I just wanted to know.
There's I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, please. Okay, Justin,
Yeah,
go ahead.
there's no direct guarantee that it's going to leave one or two phone calls. It's got a fire rate of around 70%, from my understanding, to where it should drop while you're in the middle of dropping that call.
That's
There's
perfect.
a window for it to drop, but it's about 70% that you'd be looking at for
Cool.
that second call to be placed.
That's awesome.
Sweet. All right, cool. Justin, thank you for that. And for those of you that don't know, Justin and Amy and Sean are direct team members. I believe we have a couple of other account managers in here. But Justin is at the front of the line on the CRM and is actually building a lot of these integrations, and the cool technology that you see comes from him. So, arguably he's more experienced and
Justin is a
incredible
superstar.
resource. Yes, Justin is a superstar on the CRM. So we've got some incredible resource in him on these calls as well. And we're going to have him, jumping in and answering questions as well, and becoming, more of a leadership role on these calls. So Justin, it's fantastic to have you. We're very lucky to have you.
I really appreciate it.
Chris, I think maybe Justin pointed this out to me. My habit is when I hang up, then it pops up with how do you want to disposition it? And I wait a second. I'm kind of I call myself a slow dialer. And then I hit the dispositioner. And I think that I'm experiencing what I think is 100% double dials. But I think if you hang up and hit the disposition, then maybe you get that lower percentage double dials, like Justin was saying.
So yeah, it's simply in the window, the window between the last call. Yeah. So
if you hung up and waited a day and then hit the dispositioner.
Definitely.
And I wanted to ask real quick on Jimmy's point, is there a so as soon as it hits voicemail, hit the voicemail button, correct? So don't wait till you're 2/3 of the way through.
Yep.
As soon as you hear it go to voicemail, you want to hit it and you want to get out and go. Correct, Chris?
That's
Justin?
what I do.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
exactly what I do.
Yep.
And then I go up to the right-hand corner and while it's going from green to the next call, I
Just hit it and
click on
go.
that and don't wait. Yeah, go to
Yep.
the next call.
Yeah, that's awesome. So Jimmy, I'm a fan of slow food and fast dials. So but good to see you on both. And Justin, perhaps let's do some testing next week and let's see if we can get into the dialer and see if we can set perhaps one of those dispositions to leave the voicemail and see if hooking it into an automation increases that ratio. See if we can get more of the voicemails dropped without that second, instance of the call hitting the cell phone. We should do some testing with that.
Yeah, maybe a window or something between the disposition and the calls. Just a smaller timer between it.
Yep. Okay, cool.
Can
Thank
I
you.
put one thing else out, just a secondary use of that, and it may be a little bit of a gray area, but like Sly Broadcast, you could have a workflow that I could record like my weekly message to my realtors, put it in there this morning, throw all of my realtors in there, and just hit something, and all it did is do the voice drop to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. From a compliance standpoint, you got to be super careful on the voice broadcasts. I personally won't drop a voice broadcast unless I have a phone call that goes with it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to run that by your compliance department.
Sure. But if these are your top 40 who want the market update from you,
Then you're good to
they're
go.
looking for it from you.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's a great way to do it. And actually that will tie into what we're building today, because we're well, not specifically because we're taking cold agents that are qualified and putting them into a workflow. But we can show in the workflow how you can drop a ringless voicemail. So I'll add that in and I'll show people how to add a voicemail into the program. Okay, cool. So Jimmy, that's super valuable. Thank you. And Chris, great question. So add voicemail. All right, so we'll add that to our workflow. Let's get to it. We got 2 more questions and then we'll get to the actual build it. So Lisa, hello again.
Good morning.
Every time I see you, you've got a different backdrop, but it's it always looks so nice.
That's because this morning I just got out of bed 3 minutes before breakfast club and I was wearing pajamas. And I'm in a hotel because I'm here for a day headed to California, but nice to see you again.
Nice.
Okay, my question's very quick. So I used Call Burner for the first time about a week and a half ago. And when people tried calling me back, they heard a voicemail that says, please hold for the next available partner. And I was wondering if I could, instead of that happening, I was just wondering if I could forward the call to Posh, which is what I use for my answering service.
Cool. Yes, great question. Let's build it. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to head into our phone settings. So the question for everybody is that, like if I have somebody that calls into my phone number, rather than so Lisa, the way that yours is set up is it's notifying all the different people in the account to try and get different people that are in the account to pick up the phone. Mm-hmm. But what you want to do is you just want to forward it to your answering service basically straight away, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into settings. So you head down here to settings in the bottom left, and then we're going to click on phone numbers. And Justin, if I go wrong here, I have not done a phone number setup in a while. But we're going to forward this phone number. So if I get off track here, point me in the right direction. So we're settings, phone numbers, and then we've got our default number on here. So this is the phone number that you've gone through. You can see we're A2P verified. So you've got to get your phone number on your account, get it A2P verified. Your success coach basically does all of this for you. They work with you to do the whole thing. And then we've got these 3 dots over here on the right-hand side. and we're going to click on edit configuration. And then this is the phone number, and it says pass called number as caller ID. We don't want to check that, that box. You want to leave it off, but we want to forward calls to, and then this is where you would put the phone number for whatever answering service it is that you're using. So this could be your loan officer assistant or whatever number that you're,
All right,
that's going to.
quick question. So it is my phone number, but when I go onto the answering service, I just go onto an app and I just push calls to phones answering, like for right now, an answering service will pick up. So then I guess if I always wanted to go to Posh, then just set it up here, but then that would mean that I would always have to have my phones forwarded to Posh.
This phone, yeah, this phone number inside the CRM would always go there. Yes.
And,
So maybe I
I
just need a burner number. Can I use a burner number?
Well, I mean, technically this number that's on the CRM, I mean, where are the majority of the phone calls coming from? Is it from you sending the emails to your qualified agents in your database and stuff?
Yeah, so this is just for like when I'm making calls and like phone burner allows you to slam out the phone calls, but then when they're calling me back, I'm not answering the calls. And I know that Google knows, and they will rank me lower if I don't answer my call because Google knows when you don't answer your phone.
Only on the phone number that is attached to your Google business profile.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So it's the phone number that's on your Google business profile that you want to make sure is picked up all the time, which I'm assuming is not the phone number that you're using on the power dialer to make your outbound calls.
The power dialer is a number that I had to create through the CRM.
Right. Yeah. So those are two totally separate things. You don't need to worry about the Google thing.
Okay.
But I would, if you want that picked up 100% of the time, I would forward that to the call answering service that you got, Posh.
Okay.
Right? That way that gets picked up every single time. That's important.
Okay.
Then this number is you're making your outbound dials using the power dialer inside the system.
Mm-hmm.
People are calling you back. Then you can forward that to also the Posh line, or you can ring incoming call to selected users. So what you could do here is you could create a user for Posh.
Oh, okay.
So create a user on your account that says like Posh dialing service or whatever. They're a user with a phone number. And so ring incoming call to selected users, you would select yourself and then you would select Posh. So it would...
That's a great idea, Chris, because this will also, I was going to point out that whenever you forward calls to yourself and then to another, there's always a delay between forwarded calls, at least maybe 1.5, 2 rings. So having it forwarded to yourself and then to Posh, there's going to be about a delay of 3.5, 4 rings. So he's effectively solved that too. That's a great idea.
So create a user in your account for the call answering service, and then you go into your phone number settings and say ring incoming call to selected users, you first. So you get the first opportunity where the phone rings. You don't have time to pick it up. It'll ring twice. Then it will automatically send it to your call answer service and Posh will pick up the phone, but you get the first opportunity to pick it up.
Okay, and the reason why I was thinking this is because one of my clients told me that they hung up because it said, hold for the next available representative, and they were like, oh, here's another spam call, and they hung up.
Yeah, so having that will fix that, because it doesn't feel disjointed at all to them. It's just the phone rang 5 times before somebody picked it up.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Sweet. You're welcome. Now, Lisa, you did mention just something that I want to fully clarify here for you and for all the other members. You said using Phone Burner. Are you using Phone Burner, a third-party service, or are you using the power dialer that's inside the CRM?
The power dialer.
Okay, cool. And the only reason that I wanted to clarify that is because if anybody is using a third-party dialer that they're paying for, there is a power dialer built inside the software. So you get the redder data and the power dialer and the video marketing tool. If you add up those 3 tools, just paying for them independently, it's actually more expensive to go buy those 3 things than it is to invest in the software. So
Can I just be honest with you though? When my client told me that, like when I first set this up with my person at the CRM, I recorded a voicemail. So I'm wondering why it said hold for the next available representative.
so that would be a setting. So there's this see this one here where they have call recording on. So this right here, this message is where that's written.
Okay.
So they would have set that up during your setup. And so you can go into the settings for your phone number. And if you turn on call recording, anybody that calls your phone number will hear this message before it starts to ring the phone.
Okay.
So we have this turned on for all of our concierge services because we record all of the phone calls that happen when we're making phone calls for our clients, because we want our clients to be able to hear the phone calls and what the concierge said on the background. So if you're recording the calls on your CRM, this feature by default is turned on.
I just wish it would say my name instead of for the next available representative, because they don't have that number.
Yeah. So that's just the script that's inside this setting, inside your CRM. So you just go there, put your name in the script, and you're good to go.
Perfect. Thank you.
No problem. Right on. And I apologize. I should have just pulled up your account and just did that for you while we were here. Justin, maybe in the background, if you could find Lisa's account and just update that in the background so that it says her name, and that saves Lisa having to go into the CRM and do that.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, sweet, cool. Thank you so much. Right on. Next up is Mark. How you doing, brother?
Hey, Chris, I'm doing well, doing well. I've been using your system here, and I'm doing the call reluctance and all that stuff. And I've been calling a lot of my past database and leaving a lot of messages, but not getting a lot of return calls. And so I didn't know if you guys or anybody on this call has a good way or a system to really get and incentivize your database to make a call back. Probably out of every 20 calls, I'm getting maybe 1 or 2 callbacks. So how to increase that. And then the other question is, it seems like when I'm doing my video goes out, but I'm not sure if my signature line is going out with that.
Okay.
When you send out a video with like, hey, it was great talking to you, because usually when I'm done talking to a client, I want to do a quick video or say, I just want to put a face to a name, it was great talking to you, blah, blah, blah. Here's my information. So I wasn't sure exactly how to set that up.
Okay. Your email signature should be by default on every email that goes out from the system.
Even if it's with the video?
Even if it's with the video.
Okay.
Yep. It will not attach to the text messages. So if you're texting that video out, it will just be the video or whatever you've written in the actual system itself.
All right. Good to know.
So next up, a brief conversation, but I know that this will be valuable for everybody here on the call because we're all Mortgage Marketing Animals fans. We're all following the Daily Success Plan. So one of the things that our concierge agents use to get a lot more people on the phone is the immediate text. So you can set up a workflow so that as soon as you make the call, you disposition it as, hey, didn't answer. Then there's a text message that's sent immediately. Hey, it's Mark Dowling. I gave you a call. Here's why. Give me a call back.
Got it.
That instant text of, hey, here's who's calling and here's why. What will end up happening is you'll get a lot more conversations, but the majority of them will be via text.
Good session. Thank you.
No problem. And I'll just show you really quickly how to set that up because it is Build It with Chris. So if you go into any automation, we'll click on an automation here, and then I'll pull out the database campaign here. Okay, so we've got this workflow right here for all of our members. This is a year-long follow-up sequence for your database. So when you bought the CRM, uploaded your database, we should have customize this campaign. So you go through and read all the text messages and all the emails, make sure that you like them all. And then your entire database goes into this workflow. It's going to send a monthly campaign out to your database that has an email and then a text message. And if they don't call back or text back or email back, then there's another email that goes out. So email, text, email. But if they respond to any of them, it doesn't send the other messages for that month. But then at the beginning of the next month, it kicks off to the entire database again and goes for a full year.
Got it. Okay.
So,
go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
Well, just speaking of database and stuff like that, I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was asking about, getting in touch with the database and really getting your database interactive. And he mentioned HomeBot. And the reason why he said HomeBot, he says it's so interactive, meaning, a lot of people want to know, what their savings, if they pay their mortgage down to here. So he goes, it gets people actually active and just looking at what, how they can save if they took out a second. And then it tells you, hey, this person's actually interacting with your site, and it kind of lets you know to maybe follow up with them, because now does this system have anything like a HomeBot that kind of gets the client to interact at all? Or should that just be something to just add on?
So right now that's an add-on, and I'm a huge fan of HomeBot. I think it's great. It's great service. We hear lots of great things. I shouldn't say I know that. It has been tabled that it might be a good idea for Redder to be creating client reports like that, because they have access to all the data, all of that information is theirs.
Okay.
That may or may not be in the works in the background. But I'm a huge fan of HomeBot. So signing up and then sending that through the database activator, fantastic integration idea.
Okay, cool.
Now just for
Can I throw on that a recommendation to Mark? When you want to check something, Mark, one of two things: send yourself an email, or if you're sending an email to someone else, go to the blind copy and just add yourself to blind copy.
That's a good idea. Thanks.
Exactly what's going on. Every once in a while, I test one just to make sure.
Just make sure you're doing it right. Okay.
That's awesome, Jimmy. Thank you for that. Okay. So Mark, for your particular campaign, if we were to say, okay, we've got a new trigger up here, and this trigger is going to be the phone call, let's say, and you would do this inside a new workflow, but you could say, hey, I want to call my entire database before I drop them into this workflow. So you can set a trigger that kicks off a new workflow based on call status. And you can say, hey, if the call status, if they're busy, canceled, no answer, or voicemail. So if you make your power dial calls and you click any of those buttons, so busy, canceled, no answer, or voicemail, that will automatically put them into the workflow. And you can also add another filter on here. You can make this workflow specific. So you can also say, under the call filter, if they're in the workflow of, let's call this the database, where are we, 12 month? Okay, so if they're inside this workflow, the database activator, and I call them, move them into this workflow. So if you've called them, they're already in a workflow. So think about that. If you've got a realtor specific campaign and they're in that realtor campaign, you can say, hey, if I power dial somebody in this real estate campaign, they don't pick up, then send this voicemail. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So the trigger would be the call status. And then the next thing that would happen in here is, okay, I'm going to drop a voicemail on them, or I'm going to send them a text message based on the fact that they haven't picked up the phone. So if you want to send them a text, you would just put send a SMS, write whatever text you want to be sent to them if they've missed the call. So you're making your database calls, they don't pick up, you send them a text message, hey, it's Mark Dowling, just giving you a call to see if you're interested in a mortgage checkup, interest rates are about to drop, would love to chat with you.
And so you're saying in this, you're already recording your voicemail, so I don't have to keep saying it over and over and over again. It just goes out, goes to a voicemail, the recording picks up, leaves the voicemail, and then it automatically sends the text. So I'm not really doing anything other than just letting the dialer just do its thing until someone picks up.
Exactly.
Got
Yeah.
it.
So it saves a ton of time.
Yeah.
Once you set the workflow, there's no additional work for you, but you can double, we've seen in some of the concierge workflows, triple the people responding back by calling back to the voicemail or texting back to the text. All of a sudden your activity and time invested is the exact same, but you get double or triple the results back.
All right. Okay. Thank
Awesome.
you.
No problem. All right. And then I believe that is our last question. Did we have any other hands up before we get into Build It with Chris? I think we are all good. Let's see. Oh, we got Dale. Okay, so we'll go through Dale and then we'll get into Build It with Chris. What's up, brother? How you doing? Oh, sorry, Dale, you're on mute. Here, let me fire off. There we go.
How about now?
Hey, yeah. You're
Okay,
good.
sorry about that. Rookie here. So I'm a 2-day-old LO CRM member. I know I look much older, but so here's my question. Can you record a conversation, let's say with an agent or with a borrower with their permission? Can you transcribe it and then have AI summarize it, key points, key takeaways, next steps, so you can then email it out as a follow-up to the agent or the borrower?
Ooh-wee. Dale, coming in hot, 2 days in with a phenomenal question. That's
That would
that's
be
awesome.
Yeah, that would be awesome if we could do that.
So
Probably
yes,
with a workaround, I'm guessing at this point.
so yes, you can do that. It's extremely complicated because you've got to transcribe the conversation, send the conversation to AI. AI has to create the summary, bring it back into the thing so that you've got the summary inside it. I would say that's probably not a great place for you to start on the software. I would start with the database activator, then I would go to the qualified agent campaign, and then get with your success coach on something like that. Being completely transparent, because this is Build It with Chris, it's so complicated to set up in the system. What we've actually done is we've started using Fathom, which is a third-party service. And if I'm going to have a meeting with somebody, I'll have that Zoom meeting with the Fathom note recorder inside the Zoom meeting. And Fathom is specifically built to do just that. It transcribes the call in real time, sends it to AI, sends you the summary. Now, that doesn't work on your phone calls.
So for phone calls, so there is the option to have those calls be recorded. So I was looking at integrations that could have those transcribed as well. But the problem with recording any phone calls is legally you have to disclaim that the call is being recorded, which I worked in collections for about a year at some point after college, and I'll tell you that as soon as they hear that disclaimer, that's not going to be great for your sales leads. They're going to hang up pretty quickly because we're going to immediately assume that it's somebody we don't want to speak to when we hear the call is being recorded.
So Dale, if it's client calls, I would try and just direct your client calls to a Zoom call or somewhere where you've got a Fathom recorder going in the background, because for right now, it's probably more work than necessary.
Yeah. What I'm doing now is I'm downloading the voicemail, uploading it to a transcription service. It's pretty quick. Sending it over to ChatGPT, with the prompt already set up, and it spits it out real quick. I email it to the clients and they freak out. They're like so impressed. So I thought if there was a click of a button that we had available during client conversations, whether with a realtor or with a consumer, with a borrower, that would be pretty impressive to be able to just instantly send something back. Just an idea.
That's a great idea.
If you'd like to, you can reach out to me by email. And I'd be happy to take a look into building something like that out with you.
I'd love to. What's your email address?
I'll leave it in the chat for.
Perfect.
And Justin, there is a workflow that we can do on that. You could use an HTTP post inside a workflow to take the transcription of the call and send it out using the HTTP post to get that done. So I'll let you guys work on that. That's not something that would go out, mass members. But Dale, we love to pick at stuff like that because it finds value for other members. Okay. With that, we're going to move forward. We got one more question here, and then we're going to get into the actual building of today's workflow, which we'll go through relatively quick. But John, how you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm good, man. How are you today?
I'm good. Looks like you're in a big rig.
Yeah, right. Hey, real quick, who would I talk to? I got to finish up my A2P registration stuff, and I've got the terms and conditions doc, and I got the other disclaimer documents, but I don't really have a website. I wanted to use the system to build, a landing page if I needed to for compliance reasons for that. And wanted to see who I should reach out to get some help to maybe build that so I can get over that roadblock that I'm having.
Awesome. Okay, so we have two Johns, and
John.
John Tadaro. Great to see you, brother. It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's fantastic to see you here. We actually have a landing page specific for A2P compliance. We built it just for that. So I'm going to get the team connect with you shortly after the call. We'll load that into your campaign. Literally, you just slap your footer on the bottom of it with your NMLS.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're good to go. We got you. Okay, John Cravia, who is in the big rig. Let's get to your question.
There we go. Finally got the audio undone. So had a couple quick fire questions for you here, and wanted to know for sure if the support is all US based.
Oh, like our support people? So we're a mix. We're North America based, so we're a mixture between Canadians and US based.
I had like 6 rapid fire questions. Can a contact have more than one campaign at a time, or is it only one campaign at a time? For instance,
yes,
you be
they can be in multiple campaigns, no problem.
Can the campaigns be edited while they're in use, or does everyone have to be removed and then edited and then put back? And so in order to get like next week's edit to actually be the improvement that you want.
They can be edited.
Yeah.
They can be edited during it, so it won't work retroactively. So if someone was in the campaign on week 2 and you change something for week 1, it's not going to be able to change that retroactively, but it will for anybody else that comes through the workflow.
Right, but
so if you change something in advance for week 3,
right, then catch the next person, right?
Yep.
Oh, perfect. Can a contact have multiple transactions from a historical perspective? So I have a lot of clients. I've got one client that's done 14 loans with me. We've got other people that are on the move. They're doing, 2 and 3 loans at a time. When you have an integration with a loan origination system like Arrive or something of that nature, can it handle more than one? And can it handle history with more than one?
So yeah, that's there's a few ways that could be handled, and that's one thing about Go High Level is that there's about 1,000 ways to do one process, but Arrive integration, it would definitely be able to handle that for you.
And
so that is a bit of a
that
process to get that taken care of.
So it'd be by address, and so the one contact could have multiple addresses for loans, either active integration or historical retained purchases or whatever, right?
Oh, I'm sorry,
we've got an integration coming for an LOS system in the next 30 days, and that's all handled within that. So we don't have it currently, but that is something that we will have. Now, I want to make sure that this isn't a sales call, and this is more designed for Build It with Chris. So John, if you could ask your questions in the chat, and Justin will get you. He'll get you taken care of, because we do have to hop into today's content, or the team is more than happy to pop on a demo with you or give you a quick call after the call and just answer any of the product specific questions. We just don't want this to feel like a sales call.
Sure, no problem. But I have talked with 2 people that were not equipped for this question, so maybe I could connect with Justin after.
He's got you. Yep.
Yeah, I got you. If you message me in the chat, I'll be able to speak with you there.
Awesome. John, not trying to be rude or anything. I just want to be cognizant of time, and we appreciate you being here. All right. So next up, let's hop into, I believe that answered all the questions. I did see a hand come up and then come back down. So if you have any other questions, again, that's a very informal call. Just pop your question or unmute your microphone and away we go. So getting into today's Build It with Chris, which backs off of Breakfast Club this morning. We have inside the Loan Officer CRM this list down here called Qualified Partner Lists, which is our integration with Redder. So Redder is on its own $199 a month. The Loan Officer CRM base package is $297 a month. So for less than $100 a month, you're getting Redder and the entire CRM, which includes the Power Dialer, video marketing tool, all the workflows, everything all built out for you. So fantastic value. Inside Redder, what it allows you to do is to import 300 qualified real estate agents in your local marketplace per month. Okay. Now you can access as much of this data as you want, but you can only export 300 contacts a month. And so with Build It with Chris today, I'm going to show you how to select those contacts, export them, and actually get them into a workflow, because we have a pre-built workflow that sends a message a week for an entire year that are already proven to convert real estate agents. So we're going after top producing real estate agents. You're going to make your phone calls to them every week following the Mortgage Marketing Animals daily success plan. But then this workflow is also sending emails and following up so that you get as many appointments as possible with the qualified agents. So I'm going to show you how to build that campaign, but I do see a number of members here that weren't on Breakfast Club this morning. Perhaps we're, at Pacific time or whatever it is. So I want to show you what I showed on Breakfast Club this morning, because this can also be a game changer for you. So inside Redder, we just got access to this brand new tool that is Find Opportunities and the Refi Finder based on a map search. So John Cravia, if you're available, where are you located? Where do you do the majority of your business? Where would you be looking for qualified agents from?
I would look in Greenville, South Carolina.
Awesome. Okay, so Greenville, and it'll pop Greenville, South Carolina. All right, so we got a search here. So what this Refi Finder is doing is basically taking a date search of October 1st, 2022 through to December 2023 and mapping out all of the closed transactions in that marketplace in that particular time. So in Greenville, looks like we've got 337 opportunities for refi business in the marketplace. And you can also grab this little tool here that's like a map, and you can actually draw on the map and draw a location out and only pull in deals in a specific market. So if you're going after a whale or a tuna, and that's, again, for those of you that are newer here, in Mortgage Marketing Animals, we've got whales, tunas, and tilapias, and that basically lists, how much volume these real estate agents are doing. So if you're going after a whale or a tuna, these are big top producing real estate agents, and you know that they farm a specific marketplace. This is a way for you to go to them and say, hey, we've got all these opportunities in this local marketplace. And as you work these and you pull out, oh yeah, actually we are thinking about moving, or we are thinking about moving up or moving down or whatever, you can take the opportunities from a specific marketplace and use them to go convert one of those top producing real estate agents. So this part of the tool actually brings in all of the refinance opportunities in a particular marketplace for you. The reason why I love this is because when you look at each of these deals, it shows you the buyer side agent and the seller side agent and the loan officer that did the deal originally. So this data can be incredibly valuable for you to really start to do local market research and see who's doing the deals, who's active in the marketplace. So everybody's with me. You've got this knowledge that we have this Refi Finder tool in the CRM. Everybody with me so far? Just a quick thumbs up in the okay, good. So now check this out. We're going to stay on Greenville and we're going to click on real estate. We're going to find agents by sales area. So I've gone real estate in the menu and then find agents, and then I selected by sales area. So we're going to switch this area to now Greenville, and we're going to go to Greenville. There we go. We'll just do the county if that's okay. So in Greenville, and I've gone in over the time period of the last 12 months, the minimum buyer count is 8 deals. So in this marketplace, in the last 12 months, a qualified agent for us is somebody that's done 8 deals in the last 12 months. So I click on update. We've got 220 qualified real estate agents in this marketplace that we should be reaching out to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select 3 of them, right? So I've selected these 3 agents, and I'm going to click this green button up here, and I'm going to create a new list. And this is because you can get 300 qualified agents a month imported into the system. Think about, so Carl always says, he actually helped change my life with this statement and this process that he has. He's like, okay, Chris, if you want more deals and you've got only so many deals coming from this marketplace, what they used to do in prospecting is they used to say, go get a bigger cup. Because literally sales managers back in the day, if you had a marketplace, they basically took a cup, put it on the map, drew a circle around it, and that was your addressable area. So Carl always says, if you want more, go get a bigger cup, right? Just draw a big circle in the marketplace. So John, sounds like you're on the road. You've got the ability to do business in all different marketplaces. So every month you can get 300 from one market, 300 from another, 300 from another, and every month when you import them into this workflow, you're getting conversions, but they stack over time. So by the end of a year, you've got 3,600 qualified real estate agents in your CRM getting these messages and going into your power dialer every week so that you can power dial them. Everybody with me on the power of that? Awesome. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this list name based on the area or the cup that I've got. So this one's going to be Greenville. So I'm going to type in Greenville. I'm going to create a list, and I'm going to add these 3 agents to my Greenville list. So loan officers were added, successfully added. A little bit of a mistake there. They're real estate agents, not loan officers. But anyways, click on view list. So I'm 1 click to get the list, 2 clicks to select the people, 3 clicks to put them in a market, and then I'm going to select them all. That's 4 clicks. I'm going to export all, and I'm going to push to the loan officer CRM. That's 5 clicks of the button, and I've got a list of qualified agents that's going to go into the CRM. Now, when you get, and we have some new members here, when you sign up for the loan officer CRM, one of the workflows that we build for you in the background is the workflow that's automatically going to move these contacts from Redder into your loan officer CRM. So this button right here, when you push it inside your account, your success coach programs that button to move them into a campaign for you. So you don't actually have to go through the setup process to do that. We actually build that for you. Okay. So when I push to the loan officer CRM, voila, all of the qualified agents that I selected inside Redder have now been pushed into the workflow inside the loan officer CRM. It's going to add them to the power dialer automatically, and it's going to start sending an email a week for a year. Question, John.
So when you do that, does it also scrub the list for the do not call list? Because if you land on that space, it's a $64,000 problem.
No, so that is your compliance issue to do that. And absolutely you should. Now, yes, that's up to you to run through your compliance department and to run through your do not call list. Great question. Next up, the opportunity that we talked about for refinances. So we can see here, we've got Emily Rains, and she has a buyer count of 181 transactions, like just a massive, massive agent here, right? So I'm assuming Emily's going to be hard to get on the phone. It's going to be hard to get a meeting with this person. Now, we also have a saying around here, offers minus no's equals money, right? So the more offers that you can make to a qualified agent, the more of them that you're going to get appointments with, and the more appointments that you get, the more referral relationships that you're going to win, right? The more offers that you make into the marketplace, the more successful you're going to be. So when we look at Emily as a phenomenal relationship, if we win it and we start getting these referrals, one offer of, hey, I'm a student of success, I like to mastermind with like-minded people, I think we'd be able to help each other, would you like to meet for coffee? That's a phenomenal offer. It converts a lot of people, but it might not convert Emily. She might not just vibe with that offer. So then if we have a different offer to Emily the next time that we send her a message or the next time we reach out with our calls, there's another likelihood that we're going to be able to convert her, because the more offers that we use, it's just like fishing, right? The different lures that you put out there gives you more opportunity. So this offer to Emily, offer number 2 could be, hey, I'll convert your leads for you. Chances are you're a realtor with this level of production, you're probably buying leads from Zillow or Boomtown, or you got some type of lead gen. We'll help convert your leads for you. Emily might like that offer, or she might not buy leads at all. It might be all referral based. So all of a sudden that offer doesn't convert. So now what we're doing is we're crafting another offer to go out to Emily. And so we're going to look at her production by clicking on her name. So we know she's a qualified agent in our local marketplace, somebody that we really want to get an appointment with. And inside this Redder data, we're able to scroll down. We're able to see all of the agent relationships that she has. We're able to see all the transaction details for the last 12 months. And then look at this, transaction history since 2017. So I can click on that button. In real time, it's going to go access that data. And now we can go back on this list by sale date. And we know that as of September 2022, up until December 2023, those are all potential opportunities for refinances because of the interest rates during those times. So I'm going to scroll all the way down here on this list. And this is almost too good of an example because of all of these transactions that we've gone through. But if we keep scrolling down on this list, okay, so here we are at September 2022. So look at this. Our first deal if we look at, hold on here, I got clicky. Okay, so September 28th, 2022, a $366,000 purchase, 95% loan to value. A $213,000 purchase, 75% loan to value. A $298,000 purchase, 95% loan to value, 98% loan to value, 80% loan to value, 80% loan to value, 80% loan to value. These are all potential refinance opportunities that sit in the database of Emily that are now an opportunity for us to say, go through the list, export it, and be like, hey, look, there's 75 opportunities for refinance in the deals that you closed in 2022 or 2023. I would like to reach out on your behalf as a value-added service to offer a financial checkup for these people. Value add for your brand and your business. We do all the calls, we do all the work, and we're going to promote your brand, and anybody that's looking to buy, sell, move up, move down, or have a referral for you in the real estate business, we're going to send that referral over to you with a white glove. Does that sound fair? And all of a sudden we have an offer of value to the real estate agent with a reason to work their database that adds value. You get the refinance deals, they get the referrals, everybody wins. But the whole reason that we did it was not to get the refinance deals. It was to win the referral relationship with Emily. So this is another tool that you have in your toolkit to be able to go convert a top producing real estate agent and add them to that workflow. And it's just another offer that goes out. In the chat, does anybody have any questions about that? Does that make sense? Do you see how powerful that can be? All right. And I'll get that loaded up here. Lisa, I see you've got a question.
Yeah, just a quick question. So I was looking up a real estate agent and I wanted to see the buy sides, and I can see the buy sides and the seller side. But if I wanted to click on, I want to know, like, if she's representing a buyer, I want to know like who this person is using to, like, who they're referring their business to. But I can't tell the difference between a buy side and a seller side on the list, on the transactions for real estate agents.
On the transaction summary?
Yeah, so I looked up a real estate agent, and then it showed me how many, on the summary, it showed me how many buy sides and how many sales that they have. But when I'm looking at the individual transaction, I want to know which one is buy, which one is sell, so I know who they're referring business to.
Got it. So the loan officer, right? You're talking about the loan officer, right?
Yes.
Okay. So it won't be on every transaction.
Okay.
But when you go through those transaction details, you'll see over on the right-hand side, it says loan officer.
But I can't tell if it's a buy side or not, because it just shows a list of transactions.
So it would be, if it's from the agent, it would say buyer agent and it would have their name. If under buyer agent it's not their name, then they were the selling agent.
Oh, okay. All right.
Got it?
Thank you.
But the thing that gets tricky is you might see both, and that's a double-ended commission. So they were both the buy side and the sell side of the transaction. And you'll see a lot of that with teams. So they might have two different team agents, one on the buy side and one on the sell side. I believe in looking at the data, it's the team name shows up on it. But if you drill into the individual transaction details, it might be two different agents, but they're on the same team. So it's all going to the team information.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. And then the loan officer data isn't on every single one. So you can see there's a lot of this NA information. But these ones here do have it. Cool. Awesome. Great question, Lisa. And then we got some great questions here in the chat. We got an OMG, which is fantastic. So Donna, being so brave, we'll get to your question first.
Okay, so I have is there any way to put this into an Excel spreadsheet? Like, can we download these or export it?
Yes, yes, you can. So there's this big blue button in the top left-hand corner, or teal.
Okay.
Would you call that teal? I don't know. I'm slightly colorblind, and by
Yeah.
slightly I mean massively colorblind.
I'm going green. I'll pick green.
All right. So export with buyer names. So what that will do is that will export it. Now, what you get is you get the transaction details, the buyer seller information, but you don't actually get name, or you don't get email or cell phone number or anything like that. All of the transaction details are just the transaction details. So you have the address so you can reach out. But you wouldn't have any of the actual contact information.
Right,
So it's a postcard, campaign, or mail.
I wouldn't want to do it without the realtor because it doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
You want to make sure you get them involved and let them know what you're doing, because they could find out what you're doing and then blacklist you because you're usurping their thing. So they get very testy.
Yeah. And the whole point of this is to win the realtor relationship, not really to get the refinances.
Right.
That's just a cherry on top.
Check. Thank you.
Awesome. Donna, you're amazing. Thanks for being on the call.
Thanks.
Awesome. Okay, cool. I saw JR had a question and then he disappeared off into the ether.
You answered it.
I answered it. Okay, cool. But JR, great to see you on the call, brother. Great to have you here. Right on. And okay, cool. And then John Crevia, did you still have a question or is your hand up from before?
Must be it from before.
Oh, okay, cool. But anyways, was that valuable? Was it cool to kind of see that information, and is that helpful?
Yes. I think it would also be helpful if there was some sort of a scrub.
Awesome. Yeah. There's only so much that we can do, and we like people to take compliance into their own hands because it is such an important aspect of what we're doing. Also, there is no actual phone numbers or emails for these people on the refinance transactions. So, but anyways, compliance super important. John Todaro.
Hey, Chris, I put this in the chat, but I thought I'd ask it live. On, since you get 300 a month, right, on the export for the agents, what are your suggestions on best practices to try to like avoid duplicates? For example, like in Arizona, if you do a, even just a county search, you're coming up with over 1,800 agents, right? Or over 1,700 agents. And so then I overthink it and then don't even do anything because how am I gonna, I'm gonna miss out on something. Like it's the FOMO strategy, and then I do nothing. And it looks like maybe you're breaking stuff up maybe by city, it sounds like. So just wanted to get your best practices for those of us that, even have multiple states, for example, and, that's thousands of qualified agents.
Yes. So what a problem to have. Too many qualified prospects to reach out to. It's overwhelming.
Exactly. Such a small cup.
So, yeah, go ahead, Justin.
Oh, so I was bringing this up with Chris earlier, actually. A way to really filter that list is going to be to who do you want to be reaching out to, and are they going to be receptive to hearing from a stranger? So a good way of filtering that list is to make sure that the minimum buyer size are set to at least 8 to 15, depending on how large you want to make the sample size, and then sorting that list by the loan officers that those real estate agents use. So you want the higher numbers up front, and those are going to be your primary leads you want to pull over for something like an email marketing campaign or phone call campaign, because you want to make sure that you're getting into contact with those people because they're more likely to want to hear you out if you're offering value to them. Someone who does a high volume of loans and maybe only works with 5 different people probably isn't very interested in taking on new loan officers there. They're not going to be receptive to marketing efforts. But somebody who has very, very high volume and does work with 65 different loan officers, they're going to be more willing to hear you out. And that's also going to limit those 15,000, 25,000 leads you have coming through, even based on county line, which is what I would typically recommend to start with.
And take that another step further, right? So if you go in and do a search, for example, in Maricopa County, right? Arizona, and then do minimum 8, right, on the buy count, there's over 1,700 qualified
Mhm.
that way. And then if you sort the list, right, by the LO count, like you're saying, which they should have that as a filter in Redder. I've asked them a couple times to add that. I wish they would. By loan count, right? You know, it'd be great to filter it that way, right? To exclude, to make the list even smaller. But when you sort it, right, you'd sort it ascending, let's say, by number of LOs, right? They use a lot of LOs, and then you can't multi-sort for a lot of LOs and then, you know, low loan count, right? Because there's agents that do a ton of stuff, but for whatever reason, it's showing, you know, very low loan count. But I guess that the LOs would be the same thing. But now you see, so you're still left with a list of, you know, 800, let's say, on that. What are your suggestions on that? Because that's still a list you'd want to go after, right? But I guess you
Oh
just
yeah, absolutely. So with the 800, so you'd have the 300 each month. That would just be the first 300 you'd pull over. The second month you'd pull over the next 300 until you got down to a portion of that list that didn't have I wouldn't say unusable, but just not a very
Right.
useful
So
amount of loan
can you
officers or
save
loan
the
count.
search then that way? And then do you have to manually go in and then select all 300 that you want? Because you can't obviously export all 800 in this scenario example.
So you would select the 300 that you'd like. You can choose from the entire list, because if you're basing it on the ascending order, it's going to be based on a page size of 100. You pull over the
Okay.
100. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So it's by page size then. All right. Perfect.
And I would like to say this. So the, you know, scrubbing of the contacts, awesome, great. So I've run the concierge department for 4 years now, where our job is to make phone calls for loan officers to book appointments. And we call database, we call qualified agents. That's the majority of the calls that we make. It was originally a lead generation service thing, where it was like we were generating like large volumes of online leads, and that's what we used concierge for. And we absolutely transformed the results that we were getting when we started making database calls and qualified real estate agent calls. So we don't even call cold leads anymore, right? All that to say, we call in a year over 1 million contacts. The contact ratio is 13%. From a talk to an appointment, the ratio is 45%. And you can do that on 250 contacts. You can do it on 250,000 contacts. So you can do it on 1 million contacts. The percentages stay the same. It's like we're living in the Matrix. But the math stays the same at scale, which is insane. So the answer isn't how many, but the answer is how many, because the percentages are the same. It doesn't matter whether you're getting somebody who sends deals to 13 loan officers or sends to 3. If one of the 3 loan officers screws up, you have an opportunity to get the call, right? Because that's what we're doing. We're trying to be in front of these people for a long enough period of time when they have a problem with a deal with an existing lender that they have. We need to be the ones that are in front of them because we're the opportunity at that point in time. It's just as important to be in front of them long term so that they remember your name, your phone number, your contact information when the situation arises where that deal starts to fall apart and they're like, I need another lender to talk to. Oh, hey, John Todaro, that guy's been consistently calling me for 10 weeks. That guy's got to be a gangster and know how to solve this problem for me. And then all of a sudden your phone rings and you get that opportunity with that whale. So understand that 16% of people or 13% of people are going to pick up the phone. Roughly half of the people that you talk to are going to book an appointment. And roughly 25% of the people that you have an appointment with are going to agree to send you business. You put them into your Focus 40 list and you follow up with them every week for 10 weeks, and you're going to get the business. It's math, and it's magical. And if you subscribe to the Daily Success Plan and you do the Daily Success Plan and you show up on Call Stars, and everybody you load into Call Stars has an automatic follow-up campaign inside the CRM dripping on them after you make the calls, you are unstoppable. And you're in the top, what I consider to be the top 20% of people in the mortgage industry, because nobody else is doing that stuff. This is the secret sauce. So sorry to go on a little bit of a rant there, but if we boil it down to the fundamentals of what's actually going to move the needle and put closed loans across your desk, That's it. Don't worry so much because, John, I know the FOMO. The FOMO gets me all of the time, and I've had to do a lot of inner work on just click the freaking button, Chris. Just because I can go real squirrely on data and get real deep into it. And again, one of the things that I've learned from call is like, click the freaking button. It's math. Everything's going to be okay, and you got this. If you stay in the community, keep showing up on Call Stars, you got this. So it's all good. We are 12 minutes over time, so we're going to rapid fire with Mark and Dale. I've got you guys, and then we'll hop off for our Friday. But also, I want to give a shout out, Vince. I see you, brother. Your comment this morning on Breakfast Club was amazing. It's great to have you here. And okay, so first up, let's go with Dale.
Okay, 4 questions, real quick, real fast. Did you say 300 realtors a month and 300 refis a month?
So we're
It's 100 in
figuring
total?
we're figuring that out. For the first month, I'm going to eat the cost on whatever it is. If you want 600 of them, I'll eat the cost on getting you 600. But it does look like there's some weird math going on how many refi opportunities that you want. Don't worry, you export them. I'll take care of the cost. And that
Okay,
goes for
second
everybody.
question. Did you say that you could see the data, but you can't only download 300, but you can see 900 or a million if you want to?
That's
in
right.
some kind of a matrix grid on the screen. Okay. What about all these messages that everyone's sending out? They're all the same, right? We're all dripping on, maybe even overlapping into the same real estate agents with this system. Do you recommend that we change the verbiage when we go in there so it's more unique to us, so that we're not spitting out the same stuff?
If
So
you
we're not
have
all
offers,
generic.
yeah, if you have offers that are unique to you, but honestly, I wouldn't worry about it. The emails are there to keep you in their inbox, and I think the average open rate on emails right now is like 17%. Like the number of the emails that actually get opened, it's more about them seeing you in their inbox and you making the calls and them seeing. It's the octopus method, right? It's, hey, I'm getting emails, I'm getting phone calls, I'm seeing them around. It's the impact of all of it. And it's the ones that stay consistent for longest that are going to win the most.
Last question. Are there scripts that are loaded into the LOCRM that are provided to the MMA members that are not provided to the LOCRM members?
No.
So we get everything.
Yeah, you get everything. Yep, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem at all. They're the same scripts. The MMA scripts and the LOCRM scripts, it's the same script book. Awesome. Right on. And I did see another hand up, but that hand has disappeared. So I'm assuming we either got that taken care of in the chat.
It was
or
started to try to talk. Yeah.
Oh no, Mark. It was Mark. There it is. Okay.
Yeah. So 2 questions. One on those scripts. Where do I find those scripts? Because I need to review those. So where because I'm not a MMA member, I'm just a LOCRM member. Where would I find those scripts? And then in the second question,
first question, just because I'm a dude, I struggle with 2-part questions. Inside your membership. So when you signed up for the CRM, we sent you access to a membership site.
Yep.
Inside the membership site, there's a little menu bar on the left-hand side that has the script book in it. So all the scripts are inside the membership area for you.
Membership. Okay. Second question is I use a mail service to trigger leads and different things like that. Am I able to pull this to like a CSV file to send my mail service to create a postcard or to create an offer for refis?
Yes. Inside every workflow, there's an opportunity to put an HTTP post inside any of the workflows. And what that will do is it will send any information that you want to the postcard campaign. So you can send the address to the postcard campaign as part of a workflow. So you could actually set it up to be like, hey, new lead comes in, send postcard, send direct mail message, then call them, then, you can add that to the workflow, no problem.
Okay, thanks.
I shouldn't say no problem. It's it's tricky to set up, but once it's set up, it's done. And that's what it's all about. Okay. Build it with Chris. I hope that you enjoyed the call. Man, that was a ton of valuable Q&A. Thank you to all y'all for the great questions. We didn't dive super deep on the building this week, but phenomenal to get the Q&A done and all the amazing support. So thank you all.
All y'all, that's a Texas expression.
I'm trying to work. I'm working on my international. You're gonna see me start dropping some Spanish on the calls as well. So seriously, I'm working on my Spanish. But anyways, happy Friday, everybody. Don't forget Monday morning Breakfast Club. Carl will be joining us as a I don't know what it makes the dad when the daughter gets married, but his daughter is getting married this weekend. So I'm assuming he will be in great spirits on Monday morning. So we should all be there to congratulate him. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody on Breakfast Club on Monday. So adios and have a great weekend, everybody. See you later.